What's up, chat? Hello, everyone. Welcome to another stream once again. So happy to be back and, back to another live stream. This week has been amazing so far, a lot of fun, especially, regarding this new app I'm building here on stream. For those who don't know me, welcome again. My name is Nuno, and, I work with PHP, Laravel, and everything in between. And I started live streaming, literally 1 week ago, and I never thought I would be able to have 500 followers on Twitch already, and a couple thousand of them on YouTube. So super happy about that, and thank you so much for the support so far. Chico, welcome to the stream. Josh, once again, welcome again to the stream. Really nice to see you here. Hey, Gian, thank you for the subscription, man. Really appreciate it. And that's another thing, man. Like last week, when I started with Twitch, I would be like surprised if I would have one subscription by the end of the month. And we ended literally the month with, not the month, this week, literally with more than 20 subscriptions already. So you guys are just unbelievably awesome. And thank you so much for coming every single day to my stream, really appreciate all the feedback and the support you guys are giving me. And yeah, I couldn't wait to come stream today. It's just unbelievably crazy. I was like finishing work and, have some dinner with my beautiful wife. And I couldn't wait to get started. So today will be an exciting day, Today will be an exciting day because we have kind of a big planning for today. So as you guys remember, the stream schedule is every single day at 9 p.m. except Saturday, okay? We also have every single day a video on YouTube. Don't miss out because, if you follow me and if you like my content, go to my YouTube channel and check the videos there. I'm publishing a video every single day. And today's video was about the number spell thing we found out yesterday. William, thank you so much for the subscription, man. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. And I was saying, today's video was about the number spell we found out yesterday. I think the suggestion came from Dreep Castle. So, just someone on the chat. And I do learn with these streams as well, These streams are not literally a video course or teachings to begin with. It's literally me learning with you, you guys learning with me, and it's literally just, to have fun. Today we have kind of a big planning. So the first thing I want to do is this little thing I noticed during the day. So basically, this thing is actually working. So every time I open a new tab, I see a bunch of stuff I need to do. So for example, I just need to drink water. So this is stuff actually, it's working because every single time I see this message, my first reaction is literally go drink water. Literally all the time. Not so much with the posture and the stretching thing. However, it's working quite well with the water thing. Every single time I open a new tab, this is like unbelievable. Every single time I open a new tab, I get this underlying feeling that I need to drink water. So that's working very well, by the way. So I feel myself hydrated because of this tool. So that's, for me, this is a good thing, So if I use it, maybe other people will use it. So I want to end this stream by making this project open source for two reasons. The first one is that I want the audience in the chat here literally, being able to go to my GitHub and literally just fetch this project and, hopefully will be good content for you all to learn something or literally give me opinions about stuff. And the second reason is maybe other people will actually start drinking more water because of this. I think that will be fun. Havdallah is saying, I love your streams. Thank you so much for your support, dude. Really appreciate it. Tiago, thanks for the subscription, man. Oh my God, who would have guessed it? Like literally just started last week and now with more than 20 subscribers. You guys are just too much kind to me. You don't have to, okay? Thank you so much. Dreep Castle is saying, saw the YouTube clip on the number spell. And for reference, handle is Dreep Sandcastle. Okay. Oh, Castle. Okay, I don't know. Yeah. Got you. Okay. Index Zero is saying, hi Nuno, you retweeted my filtering package last month. It's great that you promote smaller open source projects on X. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, man. If you guys, something that a lot of people think of is that to get started with open source, you literally have to do, something massive, or it has to be the best pull request ever. Either you have something big or small, doesn't really matter as long as you start, and that can be literally just a small pull request with a comment, for example. That can be your start. It was mine. Literally my first pull request ever was literally, I think I was fixing a comma on the framework, on Laravel framework. So you can see how small it is. Philippe, thank you so much for the subscription, dude. Why you guys are so kind? Oh my God. Anyways, so it was literally a pull request to fix a comma on the framework, like literally a typo, But sometimes you may have a small package. Imagine that you build your first project and you feel that you didn't got enough traction. Something you can do is literally either come to this chat and just post the link, and I will make sure, people know about that. Or, for example, you can literally as well just reach out to me and I will retweet your work. Okay. How is the music today, by the way? Is the music okay? It's not too loud? I want to make sure that I get this right, because in the past, I know that some people find the music too loud. So if it's your case, just let me know. If you think it's okay, I'm going to just stick with it, I guess. I'm going to put the E-pop playlist again, because it's just my favorite, I feel like. Just gets me motivated. Yeah, so if you know what I mean, open source, it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be just a small stupid tool like this one I'm building, literally to remind you to drink water. That's how really ridiculous this is. So yeah. Wow, Josh, thank you so much for the 5 subscriptions. Oh my God. Thank you, dude. That's a lot of money, man. You didn't have to. Thank you. All right, so I guess we get started, man. I cannot wait to actually make this open source. So let's get started. The first thing I want to do is literally mark things as done directly from the terminal via prompt. So something I noticed is that every time I see this message, I do have to type reminders done, to kind of say to the tool that I have actually done all of the tasks. So I thought that maybe the check me command, which is the one that outputs all this behavior, could potentially just tell me, do you want to, mark all of them as done? And I just say yes, and that's it. You know what I mean? So it's literally about to click enter, which I feel it's way more, easy to mark everything as done. So something I want to do is that if basically I don't have any advice, I want to print the message, you are fine, which undeniably should probably output nothing at all, but I'm going to leave you are fine, keep up the good work. But something I want to do is that I want to use Laravel prompts to ask the user if you want to mark everything as done, because I just feel it's just faster. So I want to use this, is GitHub Copilot listening to me? I just said this thing. Do you want to mark all checks as done? I literally just said this, and now it's fucking appearing on my PHP storm. It's my phone. What is listening to me? Oh my God. Anyways, it's unbelievable. I'm gonna type here. Do you want mark all checks as done? So apparently this should be a function coming from Laravel prompts. I don't even know if Laravel prompts have this function of making a question. It should, right? It should. So if I type Laravel prompts, do I have a question? I don't. Do you guys know what Laravel has to use? Oh, confirm. Should be a confirm? Probably yes, yeah. So I'm gonna use confirm. And then what I will do is the following. I want to get this little thing. Else if actually I'm gonna early return because it's just annoying to have to chain all of this stuff. I wanted to teach you that thing, which is sometimes when you have a code that will basically be a little bit bigger than this, like let's say 1 and then possibly just below, 2 lines potentially, and you will keep up with that, and possibly will be a little bit too big. Something you can do, instead of having something like if else, what you can do is return earlier. So you just do this, and then you just chain your code below, just like normal. You know, this is called it like early return, and I'm a big fan of it. What do you guys think about this? I personally feel that sometimes it's just better to early return and then have my code just below, which is the continuation of the things, you know what I mean? So what I want to do here, yeah, Shiko is saying that he uses this stuff all the time. I also feel like in all my code, I like to early return because I just feel like, okay, if I reach this scenario, I don't have to think anymore about what will happen. You know what I mean? And like, it would be way worse to have something like, okay, if else, and then if else once again, you know, it just gets confusing. So early return is something that I use literally all the time, you know? Yeah, KO is saying that he also loves early returns. Ducatan is also saying that he uses a lot, and Chico is saying he cleaned up the chaining. Yeah, I agree, man. Early return for the win. Let's go. Anyways, so what I want to do now is ask the user if he wants to, you know, literally mark all checks as done. Okay, and if the answer is yes, we have literally two options. We can call the command done and just be done with it, or you know, just literally use the actions pattern to call the done on every single check. So I remember, apologize. I remember here we have done it this way. I'm going to probably repeat this code again. So this is the powerful thing about actions, is that you can literally just reuse them all the time. Apologize. So here I'm literally, you know, providing the action through method injection. So there's a little difference between, you know, regular dependency injection and method injection. So basically here I'm receiving the dependency through the method. In Laravel behind the scenes, it does automatically injects this dependency, which is pretty cool in my opinion. So then if I'm actually, you know, if the user actually wants to mark everything as done, what I will do now is possibly just copy paste this little, you know, collect in action, and I'm gonna put it just really right here, you know. I forgot to ask you guys, how was your day, by the way? How was your day, man? I always talk about me and I kind of forget sometimes to ask you guys, because some people here are literally coming every single day, and I feel I'm creating kind of a connection with some of you. So how was your day, man? Did you guys have a good night of sleep, a good rest? You know, how was things at work? In my side, today I'm working on this new feature for Laravel Cloud, which is kind of making all the URLs pretty. You know what I mean? So I'm working on that. It is quite of a work because, you know, Laravel Cloud is kind of growing big. And now we are reaching the point with a large code base. And making features, it's not as easy as it was in the beginning because we have a lot of things to think about at the moment. So, you know, that was my day. It was still fun. I managed to walk 1 hour and 30 minutes with a fast pace. And I've done this for already 4 days straight, you know. So just like my streams, I'm literally already, you know, did this for 4 days straight already. So every single day I want to have this goal of walking more than 1 hour. And today I made like 90 minutes of walking fast. So I'm exhausted today, you know. Hey, Chico. Oh, nice. Yeah, I know that you... So Chico is saying that basically it was vaccine day for his little girl. I know you are dead recently, so congratulations again on that. And you know, I hope she's feeling better soon. Adrian, short night, long day work, fixes some bugs. Yeah, man. I personally, as a developer and as a programmer, I don't like when I have to go through the day in the sleepy mode. So for example, if I sleep like just 4 hours, I just hate the day. You know, because I'm always tired and I have to work at the same time. So when that happens, what I do is that I typically sleep a little bit more. You know, I, for example, wake up at 11 even sometimes, and then I finish late, you know. So I'm lucky that, you know, Laravel has this flexible schedule because I literally don't like to, you know, be sleepy all day, basically, you know. So yeah. What do we have here? Yeah, Ducatani is saying that you use Laravel at work, but typically it's not too demanding with the same crude stuff. So, yeah, I feel you, man. Sometimes, you know, you just get to get challenged sometimes. I feel you, yeah. The Big Shot is asking me, do you know how many steps it was? I'm gonna tell you, because I feel like I have that application here on my phone. So the number of steps I have made was 8,000, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 8,000 steps. So that, I mean, that's a good number for me, you know. Lars, thanks for asking. Yeah, man. Thank you for asking as well here on the chat every single day. So yeah, Shiko is saying that sleeping 6 hours is a sweet spot. I also feel like I usually sleep in 6 and 7, but if I sleep less than 6, I will be sleepy all day. So anyways, so we just made this. Mark oral checks is done. Is this even working? Let's see. So I'm open. So my problem was every time I was open a new tab, the message would come up, but I would still have to type on the terminal that I've done everything. So now typically I'm gonna just type Command T. That will open a new terminal, just as you saw right here, new terminal, and there we go. We have this message saying, you know, you have not drink enough water. So again, I saw the message, so I'm gonna, you know, drink water. The Big Shot, thank you so much for the subscription, man. You guys are just unbelievably awesome for your support. Thank you so much, Big Shot. I know that Twitch have this feature that allows to give shout outs on chat. I still need to learn about that. To be honest, there's a lot of things I need to learn about Twitch that I will probably, you know, take some time Saturday to learn. And, you know, because like all this screen you guys are seeing, there is like an endless amount of possibilities of making this cool. And the only thing I'm doing is literally having my face on it. Like, I'm literally having my face in the editor, and that's it, you know? So I probably need to ask someone who truly understands about this. Anyway, so I can answer no to this. You know what I mean? I can clear, I can open a new tab, for example, a pre-commit, anything. And now I have Mark all checks is done, I can say yes, which is pretty cool. Cornelius, thank you so much for the subscription, dude. You are awesome, man. Thank you. So now I mark all checks as done. I can clear my terminal, open a new tab, and I'm done, right? I'm supposed to be fine on this, yeah, which I am. So I wanted to get this done today, and that is done. Can I put here an emoji saying check? I do, let's go. So this is done. Second thing I want to do is actually test this. Come on, Nuno, not testing your code? Like, what the heck? So let's test this deal. Let's run the test suite, which hopefully should be failing, right? Because now we have a confirmation message. It's not even running. What's happening? Oh, you know why it's not running? Because the confirm deal is literally asking, waiting for a prompt. So what I need to do here is going into my to my tests, and within my check me command test, I need to add something like expect confirmation, and the confirmation message, if you guys remember very well, is mark all checks as done. Okay. And this should typically expect an answer. Okay, so I'm gonna just say yes by default. Does this even work now? I have all the other basically tests where I need to add this confirmation. So let's go into, you know, not this one, but potentially the poster done as well. So here, what I want to do is literally, you know, on this one, I need to ask if the mark all checks is done. I'm going to say yes as well. Here, I'm going to say yes as well. Yo, dudes, thank you so much for following me, man. Thank you. And what else? What else? What else? Am I done here? I'll probably need to do all of this, but for every single command I have here, right? So, basically, every single time I'm using this command, I need to, you know, expect the confirmation and actually answer to that confirmation. I'm gonna do that over here and equally over here, and also on my water done as well. So I want to do this here and here. What else? I should be done now. Yeah. Yeah, Adrian, I feel like overall the UI or the UX of this tool will improve a lot over time. I want to keep it simple for now because I feel I want to make it open source and then potentially, make it better with open source contributions from you all. But I want to keep it like the bare minimum to actually make it open source for now, I feel like. Yeah, so Yasin is asking me, how the hell are you calling directly reminders when you open a new tab? So what am I doing is that I basically added the call of this program directly on my bash RS, exactly, for my bash, setup script. So basically every time I open a new tab, this thing will just execute automatically. And hopefully the goal is make it something that runs on pre-commit, it should appear like basically I need to edit somewhere that just appears all the time, basically, So, yeah, is the test suite now passing? Let's see. It's kind of annoying because it doesn't give me any feedback, so I have no idea what is, like, being stuck. Okay, so I think I'm going to run test by test, basically, to see where this pause is coming from, you know what I mean? So definitely it's coming from the check me command, I feel like. So the done command should actually just run. Yeah, there we go. Is the posture done command also running? It's not as well. I'm wondering if this expect confirmation actually should be something like expect question. Let's see. I'm gonna use, I'm gonna go to the check me command test and replace basically the expect confirmation by expect question. There we go. All right, still blocked. Why is that? It's because I'm using prompts. Are not prompts on Laravel testable to begin with? I don't even know. Let's see. They should just be testable like no any other Laravel. What happens if I do this? Interesting. Do I need to make them as an option, for example? I probably will do that so I don't have to deal with it. Let me think. No interaction, is that the deal? I think it is, right? Oops, running the wrong command. There we go, test suite passing. What happens if I do this now? Interesting. Yeah, I feel I'm gonna use the no interaction deal for now, because I don't have to think about that anymore. So the no interaction is something like an option that every artisan command has, where basically the only thing you need to do is provide no interaction, and it will use the default answer for every single question you have. Duka10 is asking me, what do you think would be a good way to improve at Laravel, contribute to OSS, and I wanted, but I don't know how to start. Yeah, dude, I feel like, first of all, the most important thing is literally just start small, otherwise you will never start, So start with something truly small. Even if it gets rejected, at least was a start, So just try to contribute. So for example, go to Laravel/docs, where basically there's documentation there, and try to make something that you feel it's an improvement regarding making something more clear. And even if the pull request gets rejected, I mean, it was a start, You are literally learning on the process about that. And I think it will be fun. Do that. Chico is saying prompt fake. Do we have a prompt fake? I don't think we do, Chico, but I'm going to just give it a try. So you're saying that we can just use prompt as... Okay, what is this? What is this? What is this, Chico? What is this? Tell me how to use this. I'm gonna click on it. So it's telling me fake the terminal Q keys process to be simulated. Huh. Yo, Shiko, can you go to the documentation and let me know how this prompt fake gets used, please? You need to pass a sequence? What do you mean about that? Like, what is exactly the code I need to type here? Nürnberg is saying, is exactly the same as HTTP fake. Yeah, but what do you mean? Like, I just put the question first? Let me see. Let's see. So I'm gonna go here and just copy this. Lars, love you. Okay, I guess. So I'm gonna try this, okay, folks? I have no idea if it will work to begin with, okay? So, yep. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be working. Just the yes and key enter. Okay. What do you mean exactly? I have little no idea what these folks are talking about. Yeah, start with open source small. I feel like with every time you want to start with something, just start small. Even just make just this tool will basically go open source barely with features. At least I have made it open source, so this could be you just putting something out there. Okay, so folks, I'm gonna keep it simple for now. Apologize by providing this little no interactive. So there is no question, so there is no reason to block, basically, okay? So this test should be passing here. There we go. And I'm going to copy this little thing, and I'm going to use it literally everywhere I'm using the check me command. Not this one, I don't need it. But hopefully I will need it right here. And just below as well. There we go. On the stretch done. Let's go. And here as well. And on those two places as well. Okay, just to really keep it simple, basically answering or just saying, okay, just answer with a default answer literally all the time. So I don't have to, mock any expectation on this. So the test suite should technically pass after this, I feel like. So I'm gonna run the test suite. This one is running, but if I run just past the entire, test suite, let's see how it goes. And I do have a passing test suite. I can run Pint to make everything pretty and run the entire test suite with Composer Test. You guys saw yesterday that this is basically my favorite thing ever. Creating a Composer script where you run all of the, all of the test suite, which is kind of funny because now Laravel have basically a dev script which runs basically all the dev tooling behind the scenes. So, kind of funny that now we are literally leveraging Composer scripts for everything. So I'm going to enable coverage by, exporting this little Xdebug mode coverage and run my test suite again, but this time with, regular code coverage, okay? Yeah, Shiko, I will check that, but probably later or tomorrow, okay, if you don't mind. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm happy that, most of you had probably a good day. I had a good day as well. And, we are healthy. That's the most important thing, health, If you are healthy and if your family is around, things will not get better than this, trust me. Okay, so where are we? Now we have this little thing tested. I probably want to add a small test into my check me command. Just say the following. Just saying the following, that here, the default output with no checks, and then I'm going to just copy this test, put it below, and saying the following. May mark everything as done right at the end, okay? So I'm going to type this right at the end just only. And what I will do here is, I'm going to run this command expect the following output. So basically here, the command is telling me you need to drink water. You are 1 glass of water behind. Because of the no interaction true, we are going to literally answer the question that I want to mark all checks as done, as you may know. And then what I do expect here is, well, I expect at least to have 3 errors on the data, 3 rows on the database. So what I will do is type the following. I'm going to type check count expect to be at least the number of cases we have on the database. Can I do this? Of course not, Nuno. Of course not. So you can type to have count. Yo, PassPHP's expectation API is absolutely the best thing in the planet. On this little thing, you have the entire world full of expectations for you all. You know what I mean? And on top of that, you can do stuff like, you know, change not to be null or not to be whatever. You can type basically a lot of things here, okay? So I expect the count to be the count of number of check type cases, basically, okay? Oh yeah. How we are in our test with little buddies. Yeah, it was a good idea, Francisco, Chico. Literally just test, you know, check how Laravel's test suite is coded. But definitely something I need to check out. It's probably easier than that, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to find a solution for a problem very quickly, you know? Yo, we just crossed it again, another day with 100 viewers across Twitch and YouTube. If you follow me on YouTube, if you're watching this stream on YouTube, please leave a like and follow me as well. I'm literally publishing content every single day on YouTube. You may have seen as well another video today on my YouTube channel. And those videos are literally a curated list of highlights of these streams, you know? So I won't post anything that you wouldn't like to see or anything I wouldn't like to see myself. If you're watching this stream on Twitch, give me a follow, man. I really appreciate if you could give me a follow. There is no like button on Twitch. But yeah, give me a follow. And if you know what I mean, if you can interact with me on the chat, that basically makes my day. So thank you for that. Yasin is asking me, all the packages ideas you have come up with are awesome. Well, thank you, I guess. You know, sometimes I just see stuff on other ecosystems and I like to port them to PHP. So, all right, so what do we have here? So it's saying that the check class is not found. So I'm going to just literally import this. And now I have a passing test suite. So basically, each time I run this check me command, I'm going to answer this on the test suite to yes. And what I'm going to do, as you may well remember, is that marking something as done is basically creating a arrow on a row on the database with each one of the check types. You know, so because we have literally 3 checks in our folder checks, as you can see, what I do expect is to see either 3, you know, which is exactly what I'm going to have here if I run the test suite. But I want to make this test dynamic to work in the future, even if we had new check types. So basically, I made it a little bit dynamic here, okay? Adrian is saying that I have introduced the bug. I'm listening, Adrian. What did I have introduced? Let me know. All right, what else? So what we need to do now. I need to go to my stream.md file and see what I need to do. Adrian is saying to me that now I'm marking stuff as done, which is not duo. Very good point, my friend Adrian. So what Adrian is saying is actually a very interesting point, which is, if I open the terminal now, you will see that I will get prompt. I won't, but if I type php artisan migrate fresh, so if I type this, no, php minders migrate fresh. If I type this, you will see that I'm literally, you know, creating a fresh database. But if I open a new tab now, I will be prompted to mark stuff as done. However, sometimes the only thing I'm behind or the only thing I need to do is literally drink water. So there is no time to stretch yet, but I'm still marking literally every single check I have as done, which is not exactly true because I haven't, for example, I haven't stretched yet. So what Adrian is saying is that basically on this little thing right here, we need to actually test if we have an advice for those cases, okay? So let me think what I do need to do here. I probably can have, let me think a little bit. I can probably just refactor this a little bit and do it the following way. Okay. I'm going to grab, so at this point here, I do have all the advices of all the checkers. So I can copy this variable right here and just put it below and do the following. So I'm going to, just do something like this. For each advices, I'm going to check if I have a message for each one of them. So literally I can just do already this little filter thing. So if I do have a message, so I can, if the message is a little different than, empty, what I can do is that for each one of them, I do need to literally, mark the thing as done for those who don't have an empty message, okay? Or AKA for those who have an advice. So what I can do here is the following. The handle method from my action, which marks the check as done, receives a check type, if I'm not mistaken. So I do need to think a little bit how I will do this. Adrian is saying that I need to reject. Yeah, I was thinking about using the filter, but let me check. If I reject the ones that are empty, yeah, this will work as well, I feel like. Yeah. Yep, yeah. What you're saying is that I could potentially do it here, right? Yeah, I'm going to do it here as well, I feel like, for now. So I'm going to reject the ones who don't have a message. And what I will do after is that something you can do with enumerations, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but you can do this little thing, call it from, basically, okay? So because, if I'm not mistaken, on my enum, the values are literally classes. That means that I can fetch this little unum case from the water check class. So potentially what I can do here is fetch the check type from the advice class, just like that, okay? And potentially this is just working now and kind of solving the problem Adrian is talking about. But we do need to test it, otherwise we don't know, okay? So what I will do here is improve this test a little bit. So I'm going to run just before check myself, I'm going to run something which is, I'm going to mark the water as done, okay? So I'm going to mark the water as done, okay? And I'm going to also check that the count is literally the number of type cases we have on the database. But on top of that, I want to test that, actually this should be enough. Like literally just mark the water as done. At this point, the only check on the database should literally be 1. And after running this, it should mark the remaining checkers as done, meaning that we are going to have on a database the same amount as we have literally on the enumeration. So this should actually just pass now. And everything is failing, which is perfectly fine. This is why the test suite is here, by the way, okay? So let's double check here. It's saying to me that advice is not the valid baking value for check type. So I'm going to click on this file right here. And it seems that I have an advice here. So how can I have access to the underlying checker? I need to think a little bit about this. Rodrigo is saying that my live streams are not leaving my YouTube homepage. Well, I guess that's a good sign. I don't know, meaning that the algorithm is actually working. So that was the goal. I hope you are enjoying my streams though, okay? Yo, Big Toro is asking me what I am creating. That's a good question. So for some of you who just arrived and you don't know me, my name is Nuno, PHP and Laravel developer and everything in between. And I'm literally creating an app which tells me, healthy reminders directly on the terminal. So my goal is literally every time I open a new tab, I get reminded that I need to drink water, and all of those things. That's what I am building. And currently, I am kind of fixing a problem that I just introduced. So that's what am I doing at the moment. All right, so it seems that these are not actual. I just need to basically get the checkers right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna move this map function to be just below. Okay, and then I do have checkers to work with, and that should be enough, basically. Okay. Yeah, this thing will be just below, by the way. So I'm gonna map and check. Yeah, so here I have checkers and here I will have advices. So then I can move these little checkers just below and reject the checkers that do have an empty advice. Okay, so this will be a checker or a checkable actually, and this checker needs to have an empty advice. There we go. And then for each one of those checkables, I'm gonna then provide them or, fetch the check type from the class itself. Is this working? Let's see. Run my test suite. And almost we have one failing test, dudes. Just one failing test. So it tells to me that on this very end, my mark everything is done right at the end. It says to me that this output is literally not there. So the reason it's because I have marked the water is done here. So I'm going to mark something else is done, like the posture, for example. Okay. And now I should have a passing test suite, which I do. And I can run the entire test suite once again. Alien Carp is saying PHP. Oh yeah, PHP, my favorite language ever. I have worked professionally with many different languages, and PHP it's my favorite, man. I just love this language, and I just love, to work with this language every single day. Sebon is saying, I'm watching from the phone and the font is very small. Dude, I cannot fix that for you. Apologize, man. I really need... This stream I think is meant for desktop, because it's literally coding. So I cannot help you with that. All right, chat. So I guess now we can literally say that this little mark everything is done as a question coming out of the terminal is actually working quite great for me. This is something I wanted to fix today, and we can literally mark that as done now in our checklist. Okay, so that's done. And what else do we have now? So I wanted to refactor this stuff a little bit because I felt that, having a command for each one of those checkers was a little bit too much. So I want to kind of have just one command which receives multiple checkers via arguments, okay? So what I will do is literally just come here and create a new file with the name done command, test.php. Probably not the test. I'm going to write the command first. So I'm going to type here done command .php, which already exists. Why is that? Because it indeed already exists. So this means that the only thing I have to do is now accept literally the type. Can I accept multiple types here, chat? I have no idea. Okay, I'm going to ask ChatGPT. Make this accept types separated by commas. There we go. This is something you can do when you're using GitHub Copilot. It's literally like sometimes you are unsure about things, just write a comment on top. I know that, for example, you can use this little GitHub Copilot thing on PHP Storm, and I think it's kind of the thing for any other editor. I personally just like to write the comment on top, and literally almost all of the times, the suggestions are accurate, which I don't know if it is right now. So let's see. Does this even work? Yeah, I think this will work. I'm not sure though. So something I will do to check if this is working is that I'm gonna fetch every single type given by the argument. So I'm gonna type now reminders, and then I'm gonna type done, and then I'm gonna type 1 and 2. Is this what we wanted? Probably, right? I don't know. Regardless, something I can do is literally just explode the given argument types, and this will basically gives us an array, I feel like. But explode is a little function you have on PHP every time you want to, create an array from a string, basically, okay? So here, if I do this, I should actually effectively have an array of types. I'm gonna just do this right here because potentially this given return type can be null. So something I want to do is do this little explode thing. It is complaining though. It's telling me that explode, the first argument needs to be a string. Interesting. So I feel like this is not correct. Probably should just be this. How about now? There we go, little friend. There we go. So now we have literally an array with 1, 2, 3. What happens if I just don't provide anything whatsoever? I'm missing the types, which is not what I want. Can I make this optional? Come on, chat, help me out with this one. How can I make an argument on Laravel optional? Make it optional. Come on, chat, I need your help here. You guys remember? Because I don't. It's star is an array, yep, separated by a space, which is okay, I feel like, maybe? Let's see. Let's see. Maybe it's okay. So what are you saying is that now this return an array, that's it? Let's see. It still requires the argument though. I still need to make it optional. Do you guys know how can I make this optional? Okay, Mikala is saying that I need to put the interrogation point just behind this. Let's see how it goes now. It doesn't seem to be working, dude. Yeah, it doesn't. The interrogation point is not. It doesn't seem to be working. MCOS is saying that I should use this. Oh, because it's an option, you feel like? Yeah, perhaps. Let's see. Oh, because an argument cannot be an optional, right thing? Yeah, maybe that's why. So because the argument cannot be optional, it kind of makes sense, right? So I need to grab the option. That's it, chat? What do you guys think? Danny Mello, thanks for the following. Okay, Adrian, just send me this. Will be my last try trying to make it optional. Okay, guys. Otherwise, I feel like I'm gonna use. Just an option for this. Okay, what do I have now on this given, types thing? I have an array, so it's working for me. If I type AAA, I have an array with AAA, BBB. Let's go. Thanks, Adrian. That was a good help, man. Thank you. And now it seems that I don't even need to do any explode whatsoever. I can literally just fetch the types from the given thing, okay? Now, I do have a problem now because at this point, the types will be something like water and stretch and whatever, but I don't have, if I remember correctly, I don't have, I don't have an enumeration with all of them. So probably what I can do here is, I'm gonna tell you something, but don't tell anyone, okay? Enums can have methods on PHP. This is something that not a lot of people know about, but literally enums, they can have regular methods in PHP, and that's literally awesome, okay? So what we can do here is provide a static function, which it's called from... Should I put string or from label perhaps? Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna put it from label, I feel like. So I want get the case for the given label, my friend, okay? And if the label is water, self water, if it's stretch, if it's posture. I'm gonna also, before making this match statement, I'm gonna put the label into lowercase. So basically, if the user provides it uppercase, I'm gonna still, kind of allow it a little bit. Yeah, having methods in enumerations is kind of underlying power of PHP, man, because you can do a lot of things. I'm going to show you something really cool about enums and PHP. So something you can do with enums that a lot of people don't know about is that literally enums can have regular methods. So potentially here, for example, something I can do is just type label, for example, and then attribute like this is water, for example, or this is whatever. And what is cool about this is that now if you go to your command, you can literally just type something like this, check type, I want the water and I want the label for that water. So as you can see, this is literally a regular method. And if I type this, I will say literally this is water. So I really like that PHP allows us to basically have regular methods on enums. And we can do the other way around, Sometimes you want to fetch the enum case from a given thing, which is, the label. And I'm literally just doing that, get an enum from the given label, which is pretty powerful in my opinion. What do you guys think about this? Okay, so that being said, where are we? So we have types, right? We have types. Something I want to do is that if you don't provide types or they are empty, I kind of want to do for every single one of them, okay? So the cases will be the following. If the count of types is bigger than 1, then I will do something. Otherwise, I will just fetch all cases. This looks correct to me because something I can do now is literally like, okay, if I have types with something inside, I want to map to basically fetch the given type from the label, which is the new static method we just have added. So at this point, we should have cases, which I can just put them here if I want to. This should just work now. So I'm going to type reminders. Done. If I type with nothing, we'll mark everything as done. If I type water, should just mark water. But how do I have a way of seeing this? Well, I could write a test for it, which I will. But for now, I feel like one cool thing I can do is literally just refresh the database. So running reminders should just give them, every single problem I have. I'm going to say no to this. So if I type done with water, that should just mark water as done. Not all checks. So here I feel I can just do marked, then provide something inside, and this will basically be what I want to do. Oh. Yeah, I feel I'm gonna have here something called a just label for each one of them. Okay, just labeled just like that. Okay, and now what I can do is literally I have cases like multiple cases here, and I want to kind of collect them all and map, fetch the label on them. Yeah, it's kind of too magical for me, so I feel like I'm gonna provide a function here. Okay, the function will have, potentially a check type, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. And this will return the label. And finally, the label as method. There we go. And finally, I want to implode all of this deal to be comma separated. How about now? There we go. Market water check as done. And if I do this, just mark them all as done. What do you guys feel about this? Looks pretty cool in my opinion. Yeah, 100 viewers across stream and Twitch. Thank you so much, dudes. Your support is just amazing, man. I would never imagine that I would be here at this point. Anyways, I can do this, meaning that technically I can literally just remove all of these checks now at the moment. all of these commands. They are just doing, you know, kind of copy pasting, and they are not adding too much to this new done thing, because I can just literally do this right now. So I'm gonna remove the posture, the stretch in the water right here, okay? Bam, gone. Nothing feels better than just removing code from your project. Bam, goodbye. Meaning that now I have a couple of tests here that I want to kind of move them to my done command test, right? Let's do that. So this one is gone. This one is gone as well. And finally, the water, I'm going to remove them as well, okay? And this should be able to just remove all of this. Goodbye, my friend. And I need to import a couple of commands here. Not to import, actually refactor them a little bit. Because, you know, the done command is still doing its job. But here the message will be a little bit different, right? So here we have posters, you know, water posted and stretch checks marks as done. Okay, this is good. Then we have mark the poster as done. So to do this, I need to call the done command. And you can literally provide the arguments of your command on your test suite just by providing an array after the artisan command. So this should just work. And the output is not this one though, is literally just the posture, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. I need to import this model right here. Import this check type as well. And in theory, I'm feeling if these tests below now are probably a little bit too much. But I'm gonna keep at least this one, I feel like. So I'm gonna mark the posture as done. There we go. And then I do this, right? And I'm going to mark the posture as done right here. I feel like, though, that these tests below now are literally a replica of the tests on top. That's my feeling. So let's run our test suite and see how it goes. And it's failing all over the place. That's okay, you know, it's doing its job. Let's see what's happening here. It's telling me that all posture checks marked as done. That's the first problem we are having. So basically I've run reminders done with posture, and apparently the feedback on the console is not the same, which is not. So we can just address that issue just by doing that. And we can probably already fix these messages on top as well. Okay. Not eyes yet, almost though. Okay. I'm gonna use a past flag, which is this called the bail flag. The bail flag allows me to basically stop my test suite on failure. But before that, let me just read the chat real quick. It's been a while that I don't interact with you all, so let's see. What do we have here? DVDT is saying you can have word checks with string plural check counts. Indeed, yesterday we have learned about that. We have learned that we can use the string helper of Laravel to literally pluralize some content. We can also use the number helper of Laravel to kind of have some words out of numbers, which is quite powerful in my opinion. Adrian is saying the value on a done command, I imagine, could be a multi-select with enum cases. That's true. We can probably have that coded very fast, by the way. But that's true. I'm going to save that, though, for later code, if you don't mind. So using this vendor being passed, I'm literally just stopping on the first failure, which is quite powerful in my opinion. And what it's saying is that the posture done command does not exist. And that means that I'm literally using, what I'm using this. Oh, it's on the check me command. Yep, we don't have a posture done command at all. So this is now done command with the argument posture, if I'm not mistaken. You guys watch. For those of you who just arrived, if you don't know me, my name is Nuno, Laravel and PHP developer and everything in between. Feel free to give me a follow on both my platforms, YouTube and Twitch. I would really appreciate that. You know, it's kind of the best support you can give is literally just give me a follow on these platforms. Okay, seems that providing the argument, at least this way, is marking kind of everything as done, as you can see here. So meaning that I'm not using probably the good, code here. I should probably just do this instead. This probably should address the issue. So this will be just posture. How about now? Oh, this needs to be an array of types, of course. There we go. So I can probably just copy paste this deal into my done command test. I have a question. When I'm because sometimes, most of the times actually, I do remember that I have someone watching my streams and I actually go slow. And I try to explain what I'm navigating through, what exactly am I doing. But I'm wondering if some of those times I'm just moving too fast for some of you all, It's kind of a deal or a balance, let's say, kind of complicated to handle because you want to go slow for those who cannot follow, but you want to go fast for those who can follow and probably want things a little bit faster. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's go here. I do have, on this given test, it's complaining that marked posture, water, and stretch checks as done was not printed. So this is the thing that didn't happen on this command. Why is that? Probably because not in the correct order. Let's see. So I'm going to just type done, and it is water, stretch, and posture. So it's literally not in the correct order. Okay. Okay, this should mark at least this test as passing now. Oh, all of them are passing. Unbelievable. Good job, team. Yes, good job, chat. I'm going to run Composer. Actually, I'm going to just run the entire test suite now. Yeah, Divi is saying that YouTube lets you pause and go back and then catch up the video faster. That's true, dude. All my VODs are basically available post-stream. So if you missed yesterday's stream and you want to catch up a little bit things, pause sometimes to copy-paste some code into your own project, you can literally do that either on YouTube or on Twitch. Everything is literally available, Okay, we have PHP Stan complaining. My friend PHP Stan. It's been a while that he didn't complain about stuff, so let's just double check. It's complaining that on the line 24, this is the cool thing about PHP Stan, is that basically it does complain now, so you don't face problems in the future. Sometimes it's kind of too defensive with some of you, but you need to see that PHP Stan is just trying to be your best buddy on your code, your best friend, kind of reviewing your code for you. And it's an automatic tool, just takes a couple of seconds to run, which is quite powerful in my opinion. So PHP Stan is for PHP what, TypeScript is for JavaScript, or what all these compiled languages are, basically, Hey Fury, welcome to the stream, man. Nice to see you here. Shiko is saying not too fast, not too slow. All right, I feel this is like perfect then. I feel like, All right, so line 24 is telling me that the masked expression do not handle the remaining value string. Let's double check. Yeah, what it's complaining about is that I don't have a default, basically, okay? So sometimes, the user may actually provide a label that does not exist. You see how PHP Stan can be your buddy? Because imagine that the user comes here and just type Emender's done and then types, Nuno Twitch, for example. So Nuno Twitch, it's basically an argument that we are not ready for it. This will basically complain now. So I'm going to type this, and as you can see, you have a runtime exception being presented to our users. Because we don't have a match case for Nuno Twitch. So what can we do when this happens? Well, I feel like we can probably validate this. So let's go into, first of all, this parameter. And let's say that here, the only thing we expect is either water, stretch, or posture. Not a lot of people know this syntax annotation from PHP Stan, but on PHP Stan, you can say exactly what are the given values you are expecting for. okay? This doesn't exactly fix the problem, because if I just type done on Nuno Twitch, I still have this little problem. So what I can do is go to my done command and literally apply validation, like if it was, you know, a regular HTTP request. So David is asking me, what is the level of PHP stand we are? So, all right, I want to see if you guys paid attention. What is the level of PHP stand we are using? I want the chat to answer this question, okay? I want to see if you guys are paying attention, okay? What is the level of PHP stand? Chico is saying max, of course. What do you guys think? Do you think it's max? Do you think it's something else? I want the chat to answer this question. Come on, guys. Answer on the chat. What is the level of PHP stand we are using? I'm waiting. I'm going to wait, man. I'm going to wait here 30 minutes if I have to see those answers on the chat. Still waiting. Patrick is saying I'm using the max level. DT TV is saying max is kind of hard and mix with mixed values. Is really 10? Okay, I'm gonna answer. We are literally using. Zeno is saying level 8. Helen is saying level max. And the answer is the answer is level max. So we are literally using the level 10 of PHP stand, which, you know, kind of a little bit overkill. Thank you so much for the subscription. You know, really appreciate your support. Thank you. Okay, so that being said, we need to validate that the given types actually are, you know, are valid. So something I can do here is using the Laravel validator stuff. So I'm going to use this little facade we have, and I'm going to validate that those given types do match the given types we're expecting for. And I feel like Laravel have this rule enum. Let's see, enum. He doesn't? Let's see, probably does have. Probably imported the wrong class though. Let's see. Interesting. What class is importing? Oh, this is not the one. I feel this is the one though, right? Interesting. Doesn't Laravel have a rule thing here? Probably sure it does have, right? I'm gonna double check here. In some other project I have here, call it, this little project I have here, call it Laravel Cloud. Exactly, it should be just enum, right? For some reason I cannot find the class. I don't know why. Oops. There we go. So I'm gonna go here into this existing project real quick. If you guys don't mind, wait for a second here, and I'm gonna go and just check what is the class itself that does this kind of deal. Oh my god, Lily just already leaking everything. 1 second. There we go. Okay, so the class is called is rule indeed. For some reason it does not exist on Laravel 0, which is a little bit annoying. Why would be that? Anyway, I have literally no idea. So what I can use here, this even like, if I just do this, like I expect this to be required, does this even work on Laravel 0? Let me check. Yeah, I think the problem is that Laravel 0 doesn't come with this validator stuff. So I feel like we can probably just fix this manually. I'm gonna do the following. I'm gonna just type the following, okay? I'm gonna type collect each type, and for each one of those types, if the given type is not like, if not cannot be done, I'm gonna literally just back off, okay? So for each one of those types, try to fetch the label from it, and if you cannot, so I'm basically reject or filter by the ones where from label is actually true, and just print out the error that invalid check type blah blah blah. Yeah. Do I want to do that like on the very first? Probably, right? Okay, so I'm gonna grab the first or not for each one of them. Yeah, I'm gonna filter, and then for each one of them, I'm gonna abort with the message saying invalid check type, blah, blah, blah. I also probably want to tell the user that we have this one's available, which is exactly what, GitHub Copilot is suggesting. So I'm going to just type this to kind of, display all of them, okay? So first of all, I do need to return null right here. Oh, I can actually do it right here? Yeah, I could, but it's probably too low. So I'm going to return null from this little thing right here, okay? And this should also provide a function or a public static function that just fetch me all labels I have. Yep, there we go. Get the labels for all cases, yes sir. And I'm gonna implode this deal separated by comma, okay? Still a problem. Let's see what's happening. It's telling me that the implode must be the first, or actually the second type, needs to be an array string given. Okay, so basically I'm swapping, I have swapped the arguments. First is kind of what I'm separating from, and the second thing is kind of the array of labels, okay? There we go. It's telling me that is an invalid check type, nuno twitch is not even valid. And please use water, stretch, or posture. So if I use posture, I should have this working, which I do, which is quite cool. HZAC, yeah, basically, the validation component of Laravel is available on Laravel, but not on Laravel 0. That's why I'm doing this manually, by the way, okay? Exactly, Adrian. It doesn't have the dependency, so I probably need to work on it. HZAC is saying that I can require it. I probably can. I don't know, man. It's done this way. I'm going to probably leave it, but I can probably require it, indeed, PHP not supporting enum cases as array keys is crazy, but by the way, recently I faced this again. Yeah, Adrian, I could probably require it, indeed. I don't know if it will work though, so I'm gonna keep it like this for now. It does the job, you know what I mean? PHP Stan, how are we? And we are with 6 errors. How are we with a little just regular testing? I want to do something real quick as well. On the done command test, I want to it bails out if the given check type is invalid. So I want to make sure that I do this validation, So if I provide the done command with a comma and with types that are totally invalid, I expect the output to be, let me check what it is. There we go, invalid in check type. To contain, in fact. There we go. Okay, and the exit code to be 1. I don't know if this will work, by the way, this given test, so I will have to just run past and see. It's failing. It's telling me that I have a console exception. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Basically, it doesn't really allows me to test it this way because it is an exception, but and because I'm using abort. So what I can do is use this throws to basically expect this code to throw something, and I will test the message from there. Okay, so running artisan command done with invalid given types, I expect this to throw a console exception where the console exception will be imported by my project, so I don't have this ugly code, and the message is supposed to contain invalid class check type. Yes, sir. How about now? I do have a passing test suite again. I can run Pine to make it pretty. And we are back to the place we were, which is fixing PHP Stan. Marcio Marx is saying, why don't you use the choice console method? You could choose the options and avoid having logic to check the invalid types. Actually, a very good comment, because potentially, as Marcio is saying, we could use, potentially something like Laravel prompts with multi-prompt selector, where we could potentially just give valid options to the user. I was thinking, if you guys don't mind, of basically delaying all of that to when we are actually improving the UX of this, you know what I mean? So kind of, I want to have the minimum viable product now to make it open source, and then we can come back if we want, or come back if you guys want to contribute to that, to basically make a good UI for all of this, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna kind of delay that for now. So PHP Stan is telling me, 6 errors, so I can go check them all one by one. Check type on line 29. It's telling me that the comparison between poster and poster is always true. Interesting. Good. Oh, actually, we can receive a string here. It's not only those 3, by the way. So we do actually handle correctly when the given label doesn't have one. So 3 problems now. Check type line 35. It's telling me that it doesn't know the shape of this array. So each time you see a problem like this on PHP Stan, you don't have to PHP Stan ignore. You can literally just look at this and just return in the way it should. This should return an array where the key is an integer and the value is a string. So you know exactly what this is returning. Running PHP Stan once more, you should have 2 errors now. We went from 3 to 2. And the first one is regarding callbacks. All right, this ones will be annoying, by the way. So I'm going to go for the done command, line 46, and it's telling me a bunch of things. That I'm not sure I want to fix, though. So it's telling me that... Oh, I know exactly what it's telling me. So PHP Stan is telling me that this from label potential will return null. And when that happens, you are not handling accordingly, because this thing expects only the check type from this type and does not expect a nullable. So potentially to fix this, I can PHP Stan ignore, but I feel like I can also reject the null values. So I'm going to do something like this. Exactly. So I'm going to reject the ones that are null. I think this will fix it. I'm not sure, though. Okay, we are even worse now. 3 errors now. Line 46. Okay, let's read this a little bit. Okay. Oh, of course. Oh my god. Should I do this? Just fetch all of them? Let's see. Okay, 2 errors. Okay, now it's a little bit different though. So the problem was I was kind of creating a collection out of a collection, and PHP Stan doesn't like that. Now is a problem regarding the null thing. So that's exactly what I was telling you, that we need to kind of reject null values. Undeniably, I can probably do it here though. So I'm gonna filter. So by calling the filter without any callable inside, you are effectively rejecting null values, by the way, okay? And we are now with the green message here, so I can probably just type composer test and have a fully passing test suite. Yeah, Adrian, that's exactly what I've done. Like, just use the filter that will basically just filter out all the null values. So that's a cool thing. Coverage is still at 97%. So let's address that issue. It's telling me that the line 25 is not tested of my enum. Let's see. Line 25 is this one. Oh, yeah, which is a little bit annoying. It's telling me that I have never fetched this little enum. I feel it's something... Yeah, do I want to fix this? I don't know. Let's see. Let's try to use this somewhere. Pa, pa, pa. Yeah, I can probably use the water here, I feel like. So water, get the first. This will be water as well. This probably will do it, I feel. So vendor bin passed with coverage. Let's see how much do we have. We have a failing test. Let's see why. Mark poster is done. Yeah, this I need to change the label. How about now? And we are close to 1000%. We still have one enum case not being used whatsoever. Can I do it here? Probably I can. So I'm gonna use the remaining one, which is the stretch. How about now? 100%. There we go. All right. We should have a perfectly valid passing test suite, which effectively ends the first part of the stream, which ended up being a little bit more longer than I thought, to be honest. It's 10:30 already. So let's make this open source and just be done with it, okay? Okay, so effectively, we are literally done with the first part. The second, this one, and this one, we have Q&A, which we are going to skip to next live stream, okay? And the final thing is making it open source. So publishing a package on packages, I will delay this for the next stream as well, okay? Just like talking a little bit about, you know, V1, V2, and what is that deal about. So I feel like to end the stream, we are going to make it open source and kind of talk a little bit about what that represents. So I'm going to kind of going and start from the basics. Doing something open source is actually super easy. So the first thing you will have to do is obviously create an account on GitHub. You know, there is GitLab and all of those deals. You know, if I would recommend one, just use GitHub and just be done with it. You know what I mean? So you create an account on GitHub, and then the only thing you have to do, let me just open here my terminal so I can remind myself a little bit, is literally just create a repo on the new button. So you click on the new button. So literally when you go to GitHub, you have a new button, which you just click on it, and then you give a name to the repo. Technically, you want to be kind of explicit about what your things are doing. You know, I'm gonna just call it reminders because I feel like it's a good name for it, you know. Some people, you know, they like to give very explicit names. You know, I like to give short and fancy ones because I feel like for marketing, when you announce them, it just sells better, basically. If I were to, because I mean, I would come here, I could just name this like Laravel CLI healthy habits, you know, and I could give like a gigantic name into this open source project. But if it was me reading this, just by Laravel CLI blah 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 blah, seems like a toy project, which in reality it is, but you kind of want to give a sexy name, you know? You want people to actually want to use it just by the name, you know? So I feel like just name it Reminders. It's something that I would like to check for, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna call it Reminders, and I'm gonna give the description empty for now, and everything will be empty for now, okay? I'm gonna create the repo, and when you create the repo, you know, you literally have an empty repo. So at this point, this will be totally empty, and what you can do is literally click on the button that allows you to clone the project locally, okay? So this will be a totally empty project whatsoever. One question we have here from Zoli is about the license. So if it's something that you don't care too much regarding, you know, if other people are going to use it for profit or whatever, if you are starting with open source especially, I recommend you to just go with open source MIT, you know, which undeniably I'm not seeing it here, so we are going to have to add one. But yeah, a license is one of those things. Today we are going to solely focus on make the code available, okay? Tomorrow on the stream, I'm going to focus a little bit about the process of publishing this to packages so other people can actually use it, you know? Jean Paulo, thank you so much for the subscription, man. Really appreciate it. So today, the only thing I will focus on is creating the repo, cloning the repo, doing my first commit, and have it available for everyone, okay? Tomorrow, we are going to focus a little bit about the tiny details of this, like going to my composer.json, actually work with the name, talk about tag releases, the license as well, like all that deal, we are going to handle tomorrow, okay? Today is literally focused about make it open source. And undeniably, just like you said, I'm going to have to work on the license as well. Overall, there is hundreds of licenses regarding open source. The one I use the most is MIT, because I literally want, to make the code available to everyone. Everyone can use it, everyone can modify it, and etc. However, there is a bunch of licenses that you can use for open source as well. Some of them include if someone else uses it, you cannot make money with it, for example, and things like that. Anyways, so I created the repo on the GitHub UI, and what I want to do now is literally just come here and clone the repo locally. I'm going to tell you exactly how I do these things typically, okay? So I clone the repo locally, and I'm going to give the name, for example, gibberish, doesn't really matter. I'm going to call it example. And what I do is that I jump into that repo, to that folder I just created, and I move the Git directory one directory above. So when you run this git clone command, effectively you are creating a folder which contains the repo inside, but the repo is empty. So I jump into that folder and I copy this little .github folder which contains kind of the history of this project, okay? So I move it to basically be at root level, okay? And now my PHP Storm is already like understanding that. And then I'm going to remove this created folder I just created, call it example. Okay, so I'm going to just type git rfm and then remove the example folder. So at this point, I can already call git, as you can see. So I can call git, I see all these untracked files, I can literally just type, git add to add everything into my staging area, and I can do my first commit. Some people actually ask me, like, what is your first commit, what the message should be? I typically just give the message first, when it's like literally the first commit I do, you know what I mean? Tomorrow we can talk a little bit about git commit messages, like how exactly would you add a new feature, or you would just fix a problem, for example, or potentially work on docs. There is an entire terminology around this, which I actually use on my own projects, and so we can talk about that tomorrow if you guys want. By the way, I'm just curious, what messages you guys use on Git typically, so I can prepare myself for tomorrow? You guys are a little bit more strict, a little bit like this, or would you use something like, add whatever, or you would use something like whip, potentially? There we go. Duca is just telling me that he uses whip, which is also valid when you are getting started. I would recommend you though, like the whip message is actually cool, but if you are a little bit like already late on the process, on the project, you probably want to use something like fit and fix, etc. You know what I mean? Shiko is saying that he uses fix, fit, and short. Yeah, also as well. All right, so let's do our first commit message. So typically what I do is that I just add everything into my staging area and I effectuate the first commit, okay? So the first commit will have the message first. If you guys are using a UI for Git, I recommend you to use just literally the terminal, because you can learn a lot of things with this, like rebasing, etc. Okay, so I'm going to do the first commit. That's done. The second thing you need to do after the first commit is literally push everything to GitHub. Okay, so at this point, everything should be already on Git, and I'm going to share here the message or the repo with everyone. Okay. So this is literally the repo I'm working on. I'm going to share here on the chat. You guys should just have it in the next couple of seconds. There we go. You have both on Twitch and on YouTube. No matter where you're watching me, you just have that over there. Okay. Tomorrow we can have an entire stream just talking about these little things about packages, like publishing into packages, making it with good commit messages. How many releases do I use or I typically use in my open source projects? I feel will be a good discussion. If you guys think there is someone that is like a very opinionated guy on these topics, let me know, because I may invite him for the stream. Could be fun just to hear another opinions. What do you guys think if I invite David Hempel just to try to pitch me the whip message? That could be fun as well, right? Anyway, the project is now open source, so technically, if you guys go to that repo, you should see all of the code I have developed, potentially if you want to copy paste some stuff, okay? So we made it open source, which is literally this little thing. And the only thing we have not done is the Q&A, which we can start right now. So I'm going to save like 5 minutes to any questions you guys may have to me. And yeah, anything really. Adrian is saying to me that tomorrow is the Laravel meetup. That's right. You mean the Laravel online meetup, correct? Oh, maybe the one in Vienna? That's right. There is a Laravel meetup in Vienna happening really soon. And I think Florian will be talking about Laravel Cloud. So that will be exciting as well. Ishmael is saying that this first commit is usually init project, which undeniably is a good message. So you're saying that you use something like just init project. Yeah, undeniably this reads to me that it's like literally the first commit. I use first, but undeniably init project is probably a good one, you know. That's a good point. That's a good point, by the way. Very good point. Goofball is saying open source it is. Yes, you know, you guys can go to the project and literally, you know what, if some of you actually make an open source contribution tomorrow, that's actually a good idea. If you guys pull that project right now locally, you can make a contribution, and tomorrow we can review the contribution right here on the stream as well. If that is something I find interesting to review online, you know what I mean? Shiko is saying that use the flame emoji as the first commit. That potentially could be a good one. I have seen a lot of people actually using emojis literally all the time, not at the end of the commit message, but at the beginning of it, like init, you know, like stuff like this, init project. And then they would use like, you know, the tooling thing for stuff like like fix GitHub Actions, for example. You know, they would use like all these little emojis literally everywhere. It could be fun. I must be honest, seeing emojis on commit messages kind of looks cool, but at the same time looks nasty. I don't know what you guys think. Luis is asking me, what code quality tools do I use? So I made an entire stream about that topic, but I think it's a stream number 2. By the way, I'm starting literally giving numbers to all my streams. So every time you see a stream of mine, you will see literally live 2, live 3, and also what topics did I discussed on those lives. So on the live number 2, I have literally the first 30 minutes, it's only about quality tools. So you will see literally me talking on PHP and how Laravel can be powerful, how Laravel Pint can be powerful, how type coverage can be powerful, you know, but literally using almost everything, you know what I mean? Like I'm doing type coverage to ensure that I'm using types all over the place. I'm using PHP Stan, which is the equivalent of TypeScript, for example, for PHP. I'm using Pint, which is the equivalent of ESLint from JavaScript. I'm using Rector as well on the other project, not this one, which allows me to bump my PHP version code to the latest one, and Past PHP, which is the equivalent of Jest in JavaScript. Yeah, so Luis, this is what I'm using currently on my PHP projects. By the way, we still have 100 people across Twitch and YouTube, so I really want to, I know some of you already heard this message, but for those who didn't, I really truly appreciate all your support you guys are giving me on these streams. I'm literally having a lot of fun. Truly a lot of fun. It's been amazing. So, you know, if you're watching me, give me a follow if you can. And I promise you, just literally just doing lives because I just truly love this thing, you know. It's kind of a hidden gem that I didn't know that I loved. So kind of just fun, which is pretty cool. Okay, what do we have here? Epicos is asking me what you do recommend for HTTP response validation that needs to be untouched by Laravel if you need to check if responses passes a checksum. Yeah, I probably would have to understand your question a little bit better if you can elaborate a little bit. Kind of confusing to me reading that, to be honest. Maybe elaborate a little bit on it. Maybe another stream though, because you know it's like 11 p.m. a little bit tired already. I am false is saying that love from Portugal. Thank you, man. I know that Twitch's algorithm literally, you know, recommends me to some Portuguese people. So just to let you know, every single time I end a stream, a stream. Every single time I end the stream, something that I have is like the recap or the recap of Twitch. And the recap tells me a lot of things, including where people are from. Where are the people from that are watching my stream? And it's like 15%, 10 to 15% are literally from Portugal. Also 10 to 50% is coming from, 15 is coming from Brazil. So a lot of Portuguese speaking people in this chat, which is quite awesome. Like 30% of people here do speak Portuguese, which is quite cool. And I also have some numbers like, average viewers across the stream, which typically is quite regular. So all the average viewers I have at the beginning of the stream are also the ones that finish it. So I have literally, on Twitch is about 60 viewers, concurrent viewers. On YouTube is like 40 or something. Duca is saying, "Sí," which is literally what Ronaldo, the football player, says. All right, folks. Today's stream was quite productive. I feel like we managed to have a lot of stuff done. Tomorrow we'll be a little bit more focused on talking about commit messages. Okay, let's just put here what we're going to chat tomorrow. So don't forget, tomorrow will be again at 9 p.m. Streams on my channel are every single day. Tomorrow at 9 p.m. we have a stream, and we have also a new YouTube video at 1 p.m. on my YouTube channel, okay? Something I would like to ask you guys is to literally also support me on these YouTube videos. So if you see like, possibly me announcing this video on Blue Sky or on Mastodon or on Twitter or anything, just give it, a repost if you can and if you like the video. So YouTube video tomorrow at 1 p.m. and stream at 9 p.m. On the stream, we do have a couple of goals, which is starting by publishing the package to packagists. Okay, that's the first goal, which will include, include the license, talk about metadata on Composer and more. We are going to talk about releases. Okay, so how exactly should I typically release this stuff? Should it be 0.1? Should it be 0.2? Should go straight to 1.0 and more? And the final discussion will be about commit messages. So I want to discuss with you all typically what do you guys like to do regarding the wording of those commit messages. So I feel like this will be an interesting stream. I would appreciate if you guys can come again. I think it'll be fun. And I think that's it. And some Q&A as usual, if you have some time at the end, we do some Q&A, the usual stuff to really have a chat with you all, okay? Adrian is saying comment on the videos. Yeah, if you guys want, I don't force anyone to do stuff, but if you guys want, just comment on the video what you thought about the video. Helen is saying, please Nuno, I have a lot of a question. Is there a package to manage DB raw queries more advanced way? For example, to concat two attributes in queries will be able to involve drivers. I would be surprised if there is any package that gives you more flexibility than simply running the raw queries yourself. Sometimes I use Eloquent query builder for literally almost everything. Stuff like query, and then I just chain a lot of things. I do join sometimes. I do a lot of things here, but nothing is more powerful than literally just go DB raw, and you have like the full power of SQLite in your fingertips. Typically, if you have advanced stuff, that won't be by definition compatible with all drivers. You know what I mean? So yeah, potentially we'll have to write your query to different drivers if you want to make it like fully compatible. You know what I mean? Index 0 is asking me, what tips do you have for getting highs on open source projects? I try to promote such on Axe and Pinkery, and my package is featured on Laravel News, and I gained 100 stars since. Well, congratulations, first of all. Having 100 stars on GitHub is quite massive, and congratulations. Though it feels hard to find other avenues to drive engagement. I won't lie to you, man. Like sometimes I do stuff that have like zero traction, And other times I do stuff that I have a lot of traction, and there is no actual reason for it. It's just basically, depending. Sometimes it really depends of who retweeted what and when. It's so random. But what I would recommend you is do not overthink those things. Typically just keep building things publicly, and things will just make sense in the future. Projects will sometimes, you do stuff and people come back to those projects later on. I remember, for example, you guys remember Laravel Vault? Laravel Vault, which is like an alternative API for Livewire. So I built Laravel Vault. In the first 6 months of the project, nobody was using it. Like literally, nobody was using Laravel Vault, which, gives some kind of cool functional API a la React. You can do like stuff like state, and, you can do mount and etc. And nobody was using it, but suddenly, like literally like 4 months ago, Vault was being used everywhere. Everyone was using Vault, either the class API or the function API. And, so just to say that sometimes if your project doesn't get any traction, just keep working on the other stuff or on the project itself, because eventually, if it's good, things will just pay off. You know what I mean? Adrian is saying that LinkedIn is also good to spread stuff. Dude, I agree with you. LinkedIn is absolutely massive. Dude, I'm always telling the Laravel marketing team that to keep pushing strong on LinkedIn, because it's one of the places where I get most genuine traction. Like sometimes I publish something there, like a YouTube video, and people generally are like just nice with me on LinkedIn, even more than on X and Twitter. So LinkedIn is literally a very cool thing to to use and share stuff. Index Series saying that I retweeted your project. Yeah, I try to retweet, my community stuff, because I feel like I can see when someone spend a lot of time on things. So if you follow me and you feel like you have spent a fair amount of time doing something or building something, and you are needing literally just a retweet of someone with some following, just let me know and I will retweet it. Okay. Zoe is saying that Vault is brutal, but a pain to debug. Yeah, those things will become better over time, though, I feel. If Vault get actually a lot of traction, which is getting at the moment, things will basically just, getting better with time. Even like editor support, we are literally, VS Code is getting better on that, and also PHP Storm as well, okay? Well, guys, it has been a lot of fun today. Again, tomorrow's stream at 9. Don't forget that, okay? And that was a lot of fun. We managed to accomplish a lot of goals. This Q&A has been fun as well. I feel like I should probably spend more time in Q&A next time, because I like to chat, basically. So probably I will just do it. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for being on that side once again. And I see you all tomorrow, okay? So again, my name is Nuno, and I see you all next time. Peace out.